Welcome back to the channel for another lap guide. So this season has taken us on an incredible journey from Belgium to Canada to Germany to France to Japan, with non-stop drama and action at every turn. As we look forward to the next and final round of the Nations Cup online qualifiers, we are staying in Japan, jumping straight across to Fuji International Speedway for round 6, set to take place on the 28th of February. It does leave me a bit sad that we won't have any more online qualifying rounds to look forward to, so let's make this last one the best one yet. Join me as I take us through all the information you need to know, along with some tips to help you start as high up the grid as possible. If you're planning on competing in the race this weekend, you do not want to miss this. Let's dive straight in. We'll start with the race information. Here we have 20 laps, 16 cars in the race with a rolling start. There is a 7-minute qualifier ahead of the race. Fuel consumption rate is off for the qualifier, but set to ×2 in the race. Tyre wear rate is set to ×3 for both the qualifier and the race. The regulations are, we have 2 usable dry tyres, and they are the racing medium and racing soft. The intermediate and wet tyres are also available. There is a required tyre type for this race, which are the racing medium and the racing soft. Car category for this race is Group 2. Wide body, nitrous or overtake are prohibited. Under car restrictions, we have BOP is set to mid-speed. Car settings, adjustable brake balance only. For race settings, DR and SR are affected. There is light mechanical damage. Minimum number of pit stops is set to none, but remember we do have to change tyre compound during the race. Track limits are set to normal. And finally, penalty settings. Shortcut penalty is set to weak. There is no wall collision penalty. Colliding with other cars is penalised, and cutting the pit lane line on entry or exit attracts a penalty. Today's lap we are going to be looking at is, at the time of this recording, the top time on the global leaderboard of a 1 minute 25.920, completed in the NSX Concept GT 2016. Now, with all the formalities out of the way, let's get out on track. And as we make the long run down to turn 1, there is a lot of time to be gained around Fuji by using all of the track limits, which we will see as we go around this lap. So the spectator stand on the left, where the wall turns from dark to lighter shade. The second fence post after that is your brake marker for turn 1. We're going to brake in a straight line, and then we've got a turn in marker. You can either use the line that goes across the track as you go past that turn in, or back to the left spectator stand where the wall goes from dark to light. You can use that to turn in. And as we shift down to first gear, on the inside of the corner at turn 1, there's a little bit of green concrete there. We want to try and get our tyres just onto that, just to give us as much rotation as possible. Then further around the corner on the right, there is a post. Once that goes across the centre of your car, that is your acceleration marker. We're going to shift up to third gear before we start to accelerate, and then get fully on the power, use all of the track on the left hand side, power down to the next corner. And we're looking to the left where there's an orange square on the barrier. This is our brake marker and our turn-in marker. The brake is going to be a bit of a dab. So we're going to dab, turn, and we're going to try and aim the car so we're going directly towards this green piece of tarmac on the inside of the corner. As soon as we go past that bollard, we want to accelerate. We're going to allow the car to drift out to the right. You can see both of our right wheels are completely over onto the green concrete, and both of our left-hand wheels are right up against the track limits there, just on the red and white curb to avoid any penalties. And we're going to keep the car to the inside just to minimize the distance. And then on the inside of the corner, there is a square structure. As this gets to the edge of your screen, you're going to lift and you're going to shift down to fourth gear. And then there's an orange square on the barrier on the right up ahead. As you approach that, you're going to shift back up to fifth gear and then start to accelerate as it leaves the edge of the screen. And coming around the end of this long right-hander, we want to keep the car across to the right-hand side of the track as much as possible. We've got a brake marker for the next corner, which is the orange square in the distance. As that leaves your screen, you're going to brake, and the turn-in marker is this bridge. As you go under that bridge, you're going to turn into the corner. And as we approach, we're going to shift down to first gear, and on the inside of the corner, there are 3 yellow sausage curbs. The middle sausage is going to be your acceleration marker. As we approach that, we're going to get back on the power, but similar to the first corner, we're going to shift up to third gear before we accelerate. We're going to allow the car to drift all the way out to the right hand side, use all the track that's available to us, and you can see again both of our right hand wheels are completely across the green concrete. Both of our left hand wheels are right up against that track limit, keeping us on the right side of getting any penalties as we power down to the next section, where we're going to keep to the inside just to minimize the distance again. And as we come down to the next braking zone, we're going to be in between markers here for where we brake. So we've got the 100 board on the right, or a little bit further along, we've got the Dunlop sign. So we're going to either brake just after the 100 board has left our screen, or just before the Dunlop sign hits the edge of our screen. And as we brake in a straight line, we're going to shift down through the gears. We're going to look out to the left where there's an orange square on the barrier. That is our turn-in marker for this corner. Shifting down to first. We want to be really aggressive with this corner. So we want to cut straight across that green concrete, almost clip the grass. As we come round, we're going to shift up to second. There's 3 Dunlop signs on the right there. The first Dunlop sign is going to be our lifting marker just to get the car to rotate into the next corner. And the second Dunlop sign is our acceleration marker, but we need to be gentle with the accelerator to start with. We'll shift up to third gear, allow the car to drift across to the right, take the green concrete, avoid the bollard, and the next corner comes up very quickly. So we've got a braking marker on the left where the grass turns into green concrete, and our turn-in marker is where that line goes outside the track. And as we bring the car across, we want to be really aggressive on both our line and the accelerator here. So our line is going to be straight across the green concrete, and we're going to accelerate when we start to hit that white square on the floor on the right. And we'll shift up to third as we come through the corner using all the space on the left-hand side. And our braking marker is the end of the curb on the left here. We're going to carry enough speed so the car will drift out towards the right side of the track, which is where we want to be for the next corner. And on the left-hand side, there's an escape road. We want to make sure we're fully committed to this turn, shifting down to first gear. We're going to aim for that white square again. That's where we want to be accelerating. We're going to shift up to third gear, get on the power as soon as possible, use all the track on the right hand side. And that leaves us with just one corner to go on this lap. So on the right hand side on the barrier, there's an orange square. That is our braking marker. As we brake, the car will drift across to the left. We've got a turn-in point of this escape road on the right-hand side. We want to make sure we're fully committed to the turn-in here, shifting down to first gear, and then we'll look back out to the left where you can see some white writing on a blue advert there. That is our acceleration marker once that reaches the edge of your screen. We want to be really aggressive across this curb. There's 3 sausages on the inside there. We want to hit the second one and skim the third one, and we'll shift up to third gear as we approach this corner. And you've probably already guessed it by now, but we're going to use all of the space on the left-hand side as much as possible to allow us to get the fastest run down this long home straight, and that is a 1 minute 25.920. And there we have it, a lap around Fuji International Speedway. Let me know in the comments if this has helped you out, and feel free to drop by after the race to let me know how you got on. Enjoy the last round of the Nations Cup online qualifiers, have fun and race well. It would be great if you could consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss another lap guide. And why not drop into one of our Gran Turismo live streams? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.